There's something strangely beautiful about chaos, the kind that explodes in slow motion, drenched in blood and dust. And when it comes to cinematic chaos, Scott Adkins has turned it into an art form. But this time, he's not just fighting men, he's fighting fate. This is Diablo, a brutal, sunburned, bone-cracking return to real action filmmaking. You know, every time Adkins steps into a frame, it feels like cinema itself flexes its muscles again. No CGI, no shaky cam, just raw, old-school fight choreography, the kind that reminds you why we fell in love with action movies in the first place. And if you're into real fights, not flashy edits, you're gonna want to stick around for this one. So here's the deal. Adkins plays Kreese, an ex-con trying to cross the border and start over. Sounds simple, right? Yeah, except the moment he breathes free air, a pack of lowlifes tries to rob him. Big mistake. Kreese is not the kind of man you mug, he's the kind of man you warn your kids about. He quickly gets dragged into a web of violence, betrayal, and revenge when a local gangster's daughter is kidnapped. And like any proper B-movie setup, that's where things go straight to hell. Standing in his way is El Corvo, played by the unstoppable Marko Zaror, the same guy who went toe-to-toe with Donnie Yen and Keanu Reeves' crew in John Wick 4. What happens next? Well, imagine John Wick colliding with Desperado and then lit on fire. Let's get one thing straight, Diablo is not pretending to be prestige cinema. It's not subtle. It's not quiet. It's loud, sweaty, and gloriously unhinged. Director Ernesto Díaz Espinoza, the Chilean mastermind behind Fist of the Condor, knows exactly what he's doing. He takes that 80 seconds B-movie spirit, the kind of films you'd rent on VHS just for the cover art, and injects it with pure adrenaline. Every scene looks gritty but alive. The sun hits the dust just right. The punches connect. The blood? It's actually red, not that digital goose studios keep throwing at us these days. It's shot almost entirely in natural light, so every fight feels real. You can see sweat, dirt, and desperation in every frame. That's not post-production magic, that's craft. Now let's talk Adkins. This man doesn't act in fight scenes, he lives in them. In Diablo, he's not some over-polished superhero. He's broken, bruised, but damn, he's dangerous. There's this one scene he's disguised as a window cleaner, trying to kidnap a kid from a secure vehicle. It sounds insane, but it's craft like a dance. A deadly one. The tension builds, and instead of going the predictable route you know, window smashes, guard reacts, chaos ensues, Adkins flips the script. Literally, he just rips the mirror off and yanks the guy out. It's raw, fast, and absolutely vicious. And that's what Diablo does best. It takes familiar tropes and tweaks them just enough to remind you that creativity still exists in the action genre. Zaror, on the other hand, brings a completely different energy. He's calm, cold, calculated. The way he moves feels almost mechanical, like he's been fighting for centuries. When Adkins and Zaror finally collide, you feel it. Two veterans who know every muscle movement of the genre they helped shape. Their chemistry is fire and gasoline, and when they clash, it's a masterclass in modern fight choreography. Now, don't get me wrong, Diablo isn't perfect. The script, it's serviceable. You're not here for dialogue, you're here for the bone snaps. And there's something almost comforting about that honesty. See, in a world where every movie tries to be everything action, drama, comedy, romance, Diablo knows exactly what it is. It's a fight film, a street brawler with a camera. And yet, there's something beautiful about its simplicity. Espinoza doesn't hide behind editing. He trusts his actors, his stunt team, and his lens. That's rare today, and it's the kind of authenticity audiences crave, even if they don't realize it yet. And hey, while you're here, drop a comment below. Do you think old school stunt-driven action is making a comeback? Or has CGI killed the thrill for good? I really want to hear your take on this one. As Diablo heads toward its blood-soaked finale, you start realizing something. This isn't just a throwback. It's a rebellion. Hollywood keeps churning out synthetic action, everything looks cool, but nothing feels real. Espinoza and Adkins, they're saying we can still do it the hard way, and that makes all the difference. Marko Zaror delivers what's easily one of his best villain roles ever, brutal, relentless, but never cartoonish. And Adkins, man, this guy deserves more credit than he gets. He's carried the flame of practical action through decades of digital noise, and Diablo proves that flame's still burning bright. Sure, it's a small film, but small doesn't mean weak. It means focused. And when the fists fly and the camera doesn't cut, that cinema at its most primal. By the time the credits roll, you won't remember every line, but you'll remember every hit. So, is Diablo a perfect movie? No, but it's a real one. And maybe that's exactly what we need right now. If you've been craving rare action with soul, this might be the film that reignites that old spark. Drop a like if you missed the days when movies hurt, when heroes bled, villains grinned, and stunts looked dangerous because they were. And don't forget to subscribe because we're just getting started. Until next time, this is Screen Radar, signing off, where we don't just watch movies, we feel them.